The little village of Moy, located in the north of Scotland in Caithness, is home to perhaps the lesser known of King Charles's Scottish royal residences. The monarch has visited the Castle of Moy, which sits on the coast, for decades, and in 2002 he inherited it from the Queen Mother, who purchased it when she was mourning the death of King George VI. The summer residence, which Princess Margaret once described as Mummy's drafty castle, is a 4.5-hour journey from the royal family's other summer residence, Balmoral Castle in Aberdeenshire. Some say the Queen Mother was given the house for free or paid as little as £1, while others suggest she paid the equivalent of just under £3,000 for the property. Charles has been a visitor to the area for decades, with his neighbour telling Express. Co.uk that he would often see him walking on the beach in days gone by when his security was more relaxed. King Charles stashing equerry in third place on Toddler's Power list. The castle is usually open to the public and is only closed for Charles and Queen Camilla to visit for 10 days at the end of July and the beginning of August. Many of the royals have stayed there over the years, including the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, who went in August 2018. Charles, who was known as the Duke of Rothesay when in Scotland, inherited the property upon the Queen Mother's death and has visited the area every year, forging a strong link with the far north of Scotland. He frequently attends the Moy Highland Games and is involved in 3 charities in the North Highlands, the Castle of Moy Trust, which was set up by the Queen Mother in 1996, the Prince's Foundation and the North Highland Initiative. Charles' neighbour, Alec Ham, was born and bred in Moy, his family having lived in the village for more than 100 years. But despite living just 500 metres from the castle, has never met the king, although he can remember seeing him walking along the beach some 50 years ago. The 65-year-old told Express. Co.uk that he no longer sees Charles and the royals as often as security has become more strict as the years have gone by. He said, "We've always been neighbours. My granddad bought the farm after the war in 1946 or 1947. We've been in Moy for quite a long while. I remember when Charles used to walk along the front of the shore just in front of our house when I was a bairn when I would stay with my granddad. There was no security 50 years ago compared to what there is now. It's all different. They do their Moy games and there are lots of other things they're involved in." Charles, who is patron of the Royal Scottish Highland Games Association, often travels to Moy to attend the Highland Games, which have been a part of Scottish culture for hundreds of years. The event, which is being held in Moy in August, involves Highland sports such as the caber toss, tug-of-war and the hammer throw, as well as dancing and music. Don't miss. King Charles seeks permission to build huge greenhouse at Cotswolds Mansion. Inside, King and Queen surprise spa guests in their bathrobes with surreal meeting. Analysis: woman who set up firm after maternity deal dropped wins award from the King. Report: Mr. Ham has owned Harrow cottages for over a decade and often has the King's security personnel staying with him. His son, Sandy, who owns the nearby luxury accommodation Harrow Lodges with his wife Gemma, was born and bred in Moy, just like his father. Mr. Ham, who said he cannot remember a time when there was not a royal presence in the area, told Express. Co.uk that those in Moy feel positively towards the new king. The 39-year-old, who has been at events with Charles, said, "The castle brings good tourism to the area. The attitude towards the royal family is very positive overall." Charles, has been very supportive of local businesses that have approached him, so I can only say positive things. I think he does great things for the area. Following the death of her husband King George VI, the Queen Mother bought what was then Barragill Castle from Captain F.B. Egbert Terry in 1952 after spotting the tower while visiting friends. The late royal had been staying on the nearby remote Dunnet estate, owned by Commander Clare Viner and his wife Lady Doris Viner, at the time when she decided to take on the project, having heard that the castle was to be abandoned. She then spent 3 years restoring the residence, adding electricity and water supplies. It was then renamed the Castle of Moy, and the Queen Mother then stayed there regularly from 1955 for around 3 weeks, typically returning to London in October each year. The Queen Mother visited the castle, which is surrounded by 30 acres of parkland, until her death at the age of 101 in 2002, when it was then opened to the public. In 2019, Charles opened a 10-bedroom bed and breakfast, Granary Lodge, on the castle's grounds.